We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung đến Đại Đức Tăng Thịnh, vì thứ Pháp hội cấp nhất thiết chúng sanh, thịnh chuyên diệu Pháp luân giao đạo ngã môn, như há liễu sanh thoát tư lý khổ đạc lạc, thất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Đan Thổ Sư Chế Đô Ye Ở La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu Tô Xie. Nam mô Tạc Đạc Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tạp Miệu Tam Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle, and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, I will receive and maintain it. I vow to fathom the thus come one's true and actual principles. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai jian wan jie nan zao yu. 我坚决闻得受持，愿解如来真实义。O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Huineng, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns, and all good knowing advisors, Emitofuo. 诸佛菩萨、六祖、师父上人、各位出家人、各位善知識, 彌陀佛. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa lục tổ, ngài Tiến Hóa, quý thầy cô và các vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, thank you all for coming. Today is the 18th of February 2023. We're here in Wei Mountain Temple to continue discussing the 6th Patriarch Sutra. We are on chapter 3, questions and doubts and questions. These are the questions that arose from one of the big Dharma protectors of Master Huineng back then, Magistrate Wei. He's actually Magistrate Wei. My estimation is that he's probably in the sound hearer range, meaning he's, I'm not sure if he's 4th stage Arhat, but at least 1 to 3 seems reasonable because of the quality of his questions. For those of you who don't know, in Buddhism, from my perspective, we, the monks and nuns, are different from lay people in that we become monks and nuns in order to take advantage of the direct path, the shortcut to get to 4th stage Arhat by the Sangha training program that the Shakyamuni Buddha devised for us. So in other words, for lay people, it's much harder to get to 4th stage Arhats, but because of this this ingenious training program called the Sangha in Buddhism. That's why most monks and nuns have a much better chance to get the 4th stage arhats. Okay, and that's the purpose of our shaving our head. Thank you very much. Okay, so Magistrate Wade, even as a lay person, he loved Buddhism. He loved reading, researching, meditating, and therefore his questions are actually pretty good. And pretty remarkable for someone who's an official, who's high level. Back then, you see how blessed these people were. They have blessings and they chose to be an official. If you were like in a sound hearer in the Arhat range, baffles me. Why would you want to be an official? But anyway, so you see, there's some special people like them who have the bodhisattva mindset where they want to help others. They cultivate in order to help others. Okay. So now we're in the part on slide 109, where the 6th Patriarch taught his disciples and Magistrate Wade. The background is that he says, you don't need to leave the home life. Okay? You can cultivate at home, but there's a way to cultivate. And what you do is you follow this verse here of mine to cultivate to the letter. Okay? And if you do that, then it's just as good as living a home life. Please don't take it wrong. Back then, these people very have many blessings, and therefore, it's not that hard for them to cultivate at home. Okay, following the instructions of the 6th Patriarch. But nowadays, it's much more difficult. For example, what's the difference? Today, we have Chungin Sunim. Is he there? He's in the kitchen cooking or cleaning up. What's the difficulty nowadays? Nowadays, it's much harder for us to certify to sagehood because of Netflix. There's so many good movies every single week or so. New movies. Again, no commercial relationship with Netflix, but although I'd love to have a relationship. Yes, 8.
This is from last Saturday from Lyle.
Yes.
Going back to slide 98, there's a part that says, just like 6th Patriarch did in the middle. This is the first time I hear that the 6th Patriarch cultivated at home. If time permits, could Master briefly tell us more about how the 6th Patriarch cultivated by himself?
Good question. Actually, the case of 6th Patriarch is very special. It's not something that's really applicable to us. I can't think of anyone I've met who's able to do what he did. For example, he's very poor, so destitute. He had to every day go and collect firewood because he couldn't even afford to have a hatchet, something to cut the branches. So he just collected firewood in the forest to bring back to the market to sell and make a few cents or a few dimes or a few pennies to go back and feed his mother, because his mother, that's the only source of income for the family. And guess what? If I were him, okay, I'd be so depressed. There's no future, nothing to look forward to. Okay, the mom's getting old and is going to get sicker and sicker and sicker. Yeah, how the heck I'm going to find, can I afford to buy her medicine? Okay, it's so desperate. So normally, in normal people like nowadays, we're so depressed. You have so much, and yet you have depression. There's no excuse for that. You hear? I mean, the sixth patriarch, it's so impossible. Okay? And then, but he never complained. And amazingly, one day, he just braved on and just collected, branches here, branches there, all over, and bending over. You know how back-breaking it is to bend over? Okay? And because I don't think he knew that you're supposed to bend your knees, not your back. Anyone? In Asia, we don't bend our knees, we bend our back. It's not until I got here that I realized someone had told me, what are you doing? You're going to hurt your back. Bend your knees. I said, really? It's American technology, Asian technology, we bend over like this. Here, we bend at the knees level, right? Oh, you learn that when you're a kid here in the U.S. In Asia, when you get to 60, 70, you still bend over like this to pick up your grandchild. Yes? Okay, anyway. So it was backbreaking and didn't make much money. And one day, somebody gave him a hatchet so that he can cut more branches. He didn't have to walk that far. Think about it. It's very tough. It's so tough to try to make a living when you have no training, no education. He's illiterate. Okay? Life is impossible for him. He's not depressed. Okay? And he carried on till one day at the market, not even the supermarket, he couldn't afford to go to the supermarket, let's face it. Okay? So at the market, he heard someone reading the Patriarch Sutra. And the guy got to the phrase, you should produce a mind that dwells nowhere. And boom! He certified the fourth stage Arhat. No Chan meditation. Huh? Look at this girl here. In order for her to get here, she had to fast. She has to, sit for how many hours? Many hours. No? 1 hour? No wonder you struggle so much. You see, no Chan meditation, no advisor. He heard just one line, boom, he became enlightened. Fourth stage Arhat. That is from prior blessings. Is it clear? You don't have prior blessings, forget it. He has to go first.
Lecture where it was said in the sutra that the entire audience saw their self-nature. So I'm just wondering, giving you what you said about the official ways level, so the seeing self-nature can be used to refer to the aha range, small enlightenment as well. Could you confirm that? Thank you.
Yeah, but that's a different situation. I don't care to go into it because there are things that I would rather keep to myself until I can monetize it. So yes, it's not supposed to be funny. I'm serious. I still haven't figured out how to monetize all my knowledge and my skills. Gotta make money one of these days. How am I going to justify to my mother that I'm, not rich? Never mind. Yes, there is a special case there. Basically, what they said is true, meaning Fa Hai, the guy who recorded the teachings, so that's true. It's probably not because he knew, but because the the sixth patriarch told him. So it's a special situation, and that's why it's to your advantage to have a teacher like Master Huineng, because once those people in the audience saw the nature at that moment, the cultivation is like on, I hate to say this, and please don't take it wrong, okay? Please, promise. It's like full self-driving from Elon. His is a crock. It's a scam, okay? He will never be able to make it, never. It's not possible for them to program full self-driving mode. No way, okay? I've always said it, okay? If I quote the veracity of my assertions, I asserted 3 years ago that the COVID is nothing. Now the whole world still ignores me, but they realize it's nothing. Okay? So lonely, okay? To be so... I said for 3 years, this is nothing. This is just a glorified flu, unless you have a pre-existing conditions, okay? Well, anyway, full self is like full self-driving mode. Once these people saw the nature, then at that moment, they will reach enlightenment a lot easier than we do, than we can. That's a big advantage. So that's what studying under a great teacher like Master Huineng will give you, those edges that we don't get normally. Okay? Otherwise, that's all I'm willing to reveal to you. I'm not willing to reveal more, okay, until I can start charging for it. Which there's not much hope. Yes, JMT.
Hello, Master. Thank you. May I say something that is truly unforgivable today?
Okay.
Please don't call Master Ji back to the US. Don't leave Korean practitioners alone.
Why do I feel like tearing up? We bought the ticket already, honey.
자격이 없는 사람인 줄 압니다. 그동안 제가 절에 많이 못 왔습니다, 제가.
Okay. My
근데
God. I should have consulted you earlier.
제가 이 절에 온 지가
Okay. But he's still abbot of JMT. He'll also, listen, young lady. He will still be abbot of JMT and JC, and he also the new abbot of DTT. So it's sort of like a promotion. Would you like him to be promoted?
원하지
These
않습니다.
people are incorrigible. This is supposed to be a 6-page Chan teaching, certain teaching, but no. They want to take advantage of my weak moments to dissuade me. But think about it. He's getting promoted. It's a bigger temple than both JC and JMT combined. Ooh, that hurts.
I'm sorry, Master. 솔직하게 다 말씀드리겠습니다. 그 큰 절인지는 저는 안 가봐서 잘 모르겠고요. 저희는 한국 사람 입장에서 얘기를 드리면 제가 한국에 이 많은 절들을 두고 서울에서 청주까지 내려오게 된 계기가 마스터지의 그냥 표정만 보고 얼굴만 보고도 왔습니다. 제가. 근데 마스터지께서 미국 가시면 저는 어느 절에 다녀야 될까요?
That sounds funny.
저는 마스터지께서 너무 한국에서 고생하셨는데 저희 신도들이 아직 보내드릴 준비가 너무 안 된 것 같습니다. 너무 갑작스러운 소식에 제가 밤을 새고 서울에서 왔는데요. 아무도 마스터지를 미국에 못 가게 한 번도 공식적으로 말씀을 안 하시더라고요. Please.
성스님, translate, please.
I don't know how big the digit is, but for Korean, as Korean, the reason I came to Cheongju from Seoul is to see the Master Ji. I don't know which temple I should go if he lives. So he has a very hard time in Korea, and we are not ready to let him go.
They're not ready to let him go. Did you hear that? This is so un-Korean. I'm shocked.
저희가 더 충격입니다.
We are more shocking than you.
You what? They what?
We are shocking more than you.
저희 부산사랑 보라사나 신도님들이 다 우울증에 빠질 것 같습니다.
People in the temple are all depressed.
You see, you get so easily depressed. I just told you about the sixth patriarch. His situation is a lot worse than you. He was not depressed at all. See that? So this is a good opportunity for you to practice getting non-depressed. See, and Andres agrees. Okay, all right. Yes, we can discuss it. But there's some very nice things happening as well. So if you should not think it's a bad thing. Actually, it's a good thing for everyone because Master Z has made a lot of personal sacrifices. Now he gets a chance to come back here to receive further training. Okay, so that he can grow himself as well. Okay, and what we do is our new program is we will rotate people to Korea so that you see how we train our people. For example, your sunims. For example, I'm waiting to send Sanguk Sunim back for you to see how she blossomed.
Now I want to be the first.
You don't want Sanguk Sunim back. I'm hearing you. Okay. It's so un-Korean. When I first went to Korea, they said, if you're not Korean, we don't like you. You're not good enough for us. Now they prefer Master Z over Sanguk Sunim. Oh my God, this is so shocking. What about Chungin Sunim? I'm planning to send him back, rotate him back as well. You don't want him either? Speak up. Yeah. See how
말씀드리고 싶은 것은 마스터께 말씀 부탁드리고 싶은 건데요. 그 마스터지가 미국 가셨다가 언제 다시 한국으로 오시는지, 오실 기약은 있으신 건지 여쭤봅니다.
Master, I wanna
Simcoe,
ask,
do I know her?
You mean cousin?
Oh, the doctor. Oh my God, the one I declared about her doctor. I said, if I need my legs sawed, I would never go to you, because she never cut anyone's limbs off before as a doctor. Okay. Now I understand. Young Shin, I don't know. Okay, go back to work. Don't you have to work today?
Master, I want to ask you when he can come back to Korea.
Oh, very soon. Wait until you see the parade of beautiful sangans we have. I started talking to you about, how we become a monk and nun. We want to certify 4-stage arhat because it's nice. And actually, our disciples, 4th stage is we being modest. We want to shoot for first ground bodhisattva. Okay, it's remarkable to see how you Korean Sunims can pick up things so fast. Okay, you see, and so good things will happen. Don't worry. Okay, let's move on. No more questions from Korea for a while. Go Forest. Do you want Master Z back to the Bay Area? Yes, ask Go Forest.
And then someone was saying we're not ready to have Venerable Xian Wen San Wu leave.
Oh no!
Someone said we want both. I also just want to tell our Korean Dharma friends that DTT is a really nice big temple. We really enjoyed the Korean cultivators' stay last Chanchi, and I think they really enjoyed it too. I heard some people say they prefer it than the Korean temple. So we invite you to come visit and see Venerable XC anytime.
Thank you. Oh, I like you. What's your name again? Yes, actually, that young Korean lady there at JMT, if she were to go, had the time to go to DET, she'll see that it's quite a nice way place. And we have 3 beautiful Shandana carved wood statues. And they are going there. And then we're building a gorgeous altar as well. So if you, in the future, when you come, you see why Master Z really should go back there for some time. Okay? All right, don't worry. It's things change so that you're not complacent. Okay, don't get depressed. All right? Master Z, say something. Would you like to go back or would you rather stay there? You don't think it's funny, but when I first went to Korea, I was cracking jokes. And everyone said, "Is that a joke?" They would look at you, is that a joke or something? Is that a joke? Are we supposed to laugh? Look at them, they're all cracking up right now. So, be more Korean. Yes, Master Z, go ahead. And don't say you do what you're told. I asked you, would you like to come back? Don't say I do what I'm told. Okay? Go ahead, answer. Now he has to think.
What to say, Master?
What does your heart tell you? She vented her heart. Okay? The young doctor says, I want you here. I want him here. Okay? How do you feel? Yes, back there. So we give Master Z more time to think and choose the words carefully. You're still in Korea. Yes, back there. Young man.
Master, our Vietnamese Samnyala has been plotted for him to come back already. We have been talking about that. So he cannot escape that part right now.
Okay, you see? Go ahead, Master Z. How do you feel?
Master, I would say that I wish I can divide myself into different parts.
The what? That's so Vietnamese. Oh my God. So political. I hate it when you're this political. How many parts would you divide yourself? I can play that. I can use the same language. Yeah? How many parts would you split yourself up into? Too much thinking, too much thinking. That's wrong. See, this is precisely, I need to bring him back. Because if he's here, I would hit him on the head and say, naughty boy, no thinking, no thinking. See, still thinking, huh? That's Vietnamese. They choose a word so that they don't offend and they can cover them, their retreat. Okay, to be continued, how's that? Some problems cannot be solved right away. Yes, that's part of cultivation. All right, I hear you, I hear all of you, so let's do this. Why don't you Koreans and Vietnamese fight it out? You use a taekwondo? Vietnamese can use knives. If something happens, you can go see the doctor. Okay, but thank you for your input. Okay, let's go back. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so, are we back in business? Okay, so that's so the Master Huineng says you can stay at home and practice if you can do that as long as you can follow, you adhere to the verse here I'm giving you. If you do that, then it's just the same as you practicing under me. Okay, it's a very strong statement because personally, my first reaction is, really? How can a verse replace a live person? Okay, so that's why I had doubts myself. I wish I could ask him a question. That question, how can your verse replace a good knowing advisor? Okay, I don't have the answer for that. But to me, how could it be? But however, we cannot have answers to all the questions. That's part of cultivation. If you have a question, hang on to it. Hopefully in the future, when you have enough wisdom, you could get the answer yourself. Or someone who can help you get the answer. Okay? And maybe, having said that, maybe it's because these people are pretty advanced. Remember, they're the ones who saw their nature in the prior chapter. So if those people who saw their nature, maybe they get away with just following this verse. Quite possible. But for you people, it's a different story. Okay? So that's why when I explain the sutra, I'm careful to discern the differences, the nuances of the teaching, because his disciples are very, very special individuals, quite blessed, have tremendous blessings to be able to learn from him directly. All right? Whereas we don't have the same blessings. So that's why it's fascinating to see how he trained his disciples from my personal perspective. These people who have blessings, how he trained them. All right. Okay, let's go back to 109, continuing with the verse that he gave his disciples. He says, the text says, principled, one truly cares for those above and below. Yielding, the honored and the lowly are all in harmony and fellowship. Patient, one does not proclaim the evils of the assembly.
义则上下相连，让则尊卑和睦，忍则众恶无宣。
Okay. Commentary on 110. Did he teach them about what mantra to recite? Which Buddha's name to bow to? Which sutras to memorize? No. The verse says, you should be principled, you should be yielding, you should be patient. That's their practice. They practice to be principled, to be yielding, and to be patient. Please pay attention. This applies to us as well. Principled. You truly care for those above and below. Care for means what? Care for means that those below you, you don't lay them off. Laying those people off, the people below you, is subordinate, is like tearing off your limbs. You don't do that. You have to take care of them. That's a principled person. They depend on us. Very much like your family. Huh? They depend on us. Therefore, we have to care for them. Have to feel for the suffering. That is so Mahayana. They don't say, shed, shed, shed. Drop, drop, drop. No, he says, care, care, care. Is it say, caring for more? You go around every day and say, I don't like this. I don't like to do this. Huh? You have no time to do that. Why? Because you're too busy caring for others. Above. I will tell you this. My experience in a work life has been that the boss doesn't really care for me. I care for my boss, but the boss never cared for me. What does he do? He takes advantage of me, underpays me. Sound familiar? Expects me to put in overtime, go above and beyond the call of duty. And then he can turn around and tell his board of directors, I'm squeezing all the juices out of my subordinates. Ain't I a good CEO? So, by the way, will I be rewarded? Get more stock options? Because I drive my people to the ground. That's the nature of politics in upper management. You work on the numbers, drive the people, squeeze your people so that the numbers look good, so that you get rewarded. You only manage numbers. You don't care for people. Okay? And that's why the subordinates really don't care for those above. They said, you don't care for me, why should I care for you? So what principle are we talking about? Principle of loyalty. Okay? Principle of gratitude. We get paid. And then you use the money to feed our family. Take care of our children. Shouldn't we be grateful? Even if the boss doesn't meet our standard, we still should be principled, don't you think? That's called cultivation. Yes? That's us. Just because we principled does not mean that our bosses or our subordinates must be principled as well. We're principled. That's what we are. That's what we do. Whether it's rewarded or recognized or not is irrelevant. Is that clear? This is the right thing to do. That's why it's called principle. It's something to me so remarkable about it, that people can be principled. You know, I'm touched by those, even those cops. Who likes cops, by the way? Okay? Who stopped me on the freeway about to give me a ticket. I look at them and say, wow, you're Catholic, right? Oh, yeah, I'm Catholic. But you're a decent man. You're fair. You became a cop because you want to protect people. You want to be just and fair. Treat people fairly and justly. You know? I found quite a few cops like that. And then I found some cops that are pretty bad. I found a young one who gave me a speeding ticket. Recently, it breaks my heart. He caught me at 4 in the morning. Okay, my car is full of junk from WMT that I need to bring up to DTT. At 4 in the morning, I drove by, and you have to be careful there. There's a young cop there at around Valencia, 6 Flags over California. You know that area is for tourists, yes? And my driver's license is in San Jose. So I'm a tourist. Okay? And guess what? He said, you know why I stopped you? I said, I can guess. You're right, he says. The speed limit is 65. You were doing 80. And I said, well, I was trying to get away from the other car. I said, no, there's no one around you at all. I lied. Okay, what can I do? I mean, wouldn't you? Okay, I repented. Okay, so I'm absolved, I think. But then what surprised me is this young man, he's around maybe early 30s. He said, he's so afflicted. He says, how could you be speeding? I said, say what? Everyone speeds. Why you pick on me? I mean, we're only telling myself, I would never dare, offend him. It could put me in jail. You see, he's probably one of the rare few cops I was disappointed. He didn't like the car I drove, basically. Okay, he's afflicted. There's no reason why a young man looked at me and said, you 15 miles over the speed limit. And he's so afflicted about it. I mean, he must have seen a lot of people speeding on the freeway, right? It's 4 in the morning. There's no one around. And when the car goes fast, it goes fast. It's, sometimes you can't control it. Anyway, I was still sore about this. Anyway, so remarkably, quite a few cops are principled. I'm surprised in this country. I met them in Minnesota, in Wisconsin, in all over. And that young cop in Valencia, 6 Flags over America, in a tourist area, picking on a tourist. He needs principles. Anyway, I got sidetracked. Next, yielding. See, it's funny he stressed principle first. You do the right things regardless of the price. Yes? You do what's the right thing? It's not. Let's be specific. Okay? take care of those below you and take care of those above you. That's a principle. Isn't that beautiful? She only takes care of her dog. She cares for no one else. That's unprincipled. Have you learned something today, honey? Huh? Principle is to take care of those below you and take care of those above you. That's our principle. Isn't that beautiful? I love this. It's no beating around the bush. It's not like, big names, big words, big jargons. Buddhism, it's non-dual. It is true emptiness. No, it should be principle. How? Take care of those below you, take care of those above you. That's principle. Yes, too.
Master, you talked about boss and how we got to take care of what is good for the business and the boss and the work. But as you said, oftentimes I have seen that if you do good work, put a lot of work, they give you more work. They don't care for you. Then I give more and more and more, and then I get sick.
Yes.
So how do we manage that? We want to be...
Good question. I know exactly the person who can answer you. Chin, go for us. Are you there? Tell him. See, she has the answer for you.
I think Master answered this before.
I did?
Master was saying something along the lines of...
No, I want your answer.
I follow Master's instructions.
No, that's not lying, honey.
Yeah, I think I agree with Master. I don't have different answers. But I think you do what you do your duty. You do what's right to be a good employee to your boss, and then you see if he rewards you fairly, and if he does not, you can choose to leave or follow another person. But as long as you follow him or her, you do your duty to the best of your abilities.
Did I say that?
My interpretations.
That's all you remember. Anyone else? If she heard it, then somebody else must have heard something as well. Anyone, please? Please? No one? Master Z, what's your Vietnamese Korean wisdom? What should he do?
Master, I just would try my best to serve. That's all.
His problem is that the more you try, the more you will be overwhelmed.
Yes.
Where's the line? Where do you draw the line? Yes? That's his question.
Yeah, as a employee, I just try my best. That's all I can do.
Okay. Anyone else? Yes, sir. 9.
I just thought to complicate it more about if it's not clear who is the boss, who is above or who is below. So then in that case, it can be even more overwhelming and confusing.
Okay? Below are those who depend on you. Above are those who depend on you. Does it help? No, I guess not. Above are those who give you orders. Below is those you give orders to. All right? All right, so how do you solve the problem? It's not easily fixed, okay? But this is from a perspective of someone who cultivates. So we talk about it. I'm not talking about worldly people. What Jun remembers is a worldly perspective. All right? Let me explain to you this principle here that he talked about on slide 110. Okay? If your boss keeps on dumping things on you, that's normal. There's a Peter's principles where we all get promoted to our level of incompetence, highest level of incompetence. Okay? That's what happens. We get dumped on. We're being asked to deliver more and more and more and more until we no longer can. That's it. What happened is that it's just a way of life at work, professional life here in the US. I don't know about Korea. I heard this similar kind of stories in Korea where the boss keeps on dumping on you and more and more and more and more and more, and the raises are not coming either. Okay? And that's life. That's work life. Remember, we're supposed to be exploited. That's capitalism. There's nothing new about it. Should we care for such people? The sixth patriarch says, yes, we should. Isn't it beautiful? You still thinking. He says, I don't know. But he says, just care. Stop discriminating. Stop calculating so much. If he needs to get it done, try your best. That's all. That's a simple answer. I'm sorry, Jun only remembers the fairness and the reward and so forth. That's not what I meant. If I did, I retract it. I will change my mind now today. Okay, because hopefully I learned something new. I feel as of today that we're supposed to be overwhelmed. Stop whining. Okay? That's work life. That's family life. Aren't we overwhelmed at home too? Let's be fair to your wife. Are you married?
No, Master.
Okay, never mind. Okay, let's talk to someone who's married. The point is that we're supposed to be overwhelmed. The point is that life is overwhelming, like it or not. Have you thought about it? That we can't handle it personally. As a monk, as a layperson, we're on the same boat. We can't handle it. I'm overwhelmed. Every day, it gets worse and worse and worse. I talk to my disciples and say, why do you keep on dumping things on me? I say, because I dumped on myself. What do you want from me? I can't help it myself either. That's life. So what do we do about it? Master Huay Nung says, care. Try your best. Care is all we have. All we have is we care. And we try our best to care. And that's all we have. Okay?
Thank you.
And it's okay to be exhausted. And if you truly care what happens when you're exhausted, this is beautiful. What do you do when you're exhausted? You can't do it anymore. You're so tired and you have nothing else to offer. What do?
I get sick.
You get sick. Okay, you get sick. Yes, sir. Me too, by the way. I did get sick. Physically, emotionally, mentally. I worry, unlike you. I worry day and night to take care of my people, my subordinates. Make sure my boss is protected and get what he wanted. So I worry day and night, nonstop. Didn't get paid much for all the work. Yes, I know what you're talking about. Went on a date, too tired. Became a liability for anyone who cared. What are you going to do? But the principle is that you care for those below and those above you. And when you do, you'll be exhausted. You'll be drained. You're down to zero. That's what's going to happen. I'm very grateful that you dare ask this question. That's what's supposed to happen. If you principle, it's going to happen. My disciples, it's happening to them right now. People are being laid off. People are quitting. And they have to take on the workload of those people who are laid off, who quit. What are you going to do? People depend on you. For example, if you work in the medical field, they get sick, they can't wait. You can say, can you come back next week when I have more strength? I think of something to help you. They can't wait. They need help right now. What are you going to do? If you're principled, what do? You give your all. And then you're so tired. And then what happens when you're so tired? You're so drained, you have nothing left. What's going to happen? You have two choices. Number one, clearly, is to quit. You say, it ain't worth it for me. They don't pay me enough. Sounds familiar? It ain't worth it. I'm going to quit. I'm going to retire, whatever. Yes, 8. And number 2, remind me of number 2, I got distracted by these people. No, go ahead. I'd rather be distracted. But I blame it on you just in case.
From Malcolm, as for someone who was burned out from work recently, I say the balance is go above and beyond. Practice Chan, but try your best to find a balance with work and life, and don't be afraid of life.
Who's that? Who's this?
Malcolm.
Malcolm?
Yes. From Goat Forest Apple, do whatever you can. You probably will be overwhelmed and exhausted, and you meditate, then you improve. I feel if I can try my best and at the same time not be affected, I will be happy with myself.
Wow, that's my disciple. Number 2, you don't quit. Then you say, what can I do to recover faster? That's Chan. Chan will help you recover so fast than without Chan. So at that point in time, your Chan skills will develop faster. That's why my disciples, by the way, they've been complaining to me for 10 years now. They say, Master, my to-do list gets longer every single day. And I asked myself, I didn't tell her this. I said, why are you still here? What's the matter with you? You don't quit, guess what happens? You will improve. If you do Chan. That's our secret. Principle, you care and care and care and care until you have nothing left. You do Chan. That's when the magic happens. Shh. Don't tell others.
Yeah, thank you, Master. Just one clarification.
Yeah.
So if I feel like I'm being exploited by my boss, how do I answer that question that comes to my mind?
We all exploited. This is America. This is America. We're supposed to be exploited. We exploited who? We exploited originally. Who did we exploit? The black people? Brought them here to work in cotton fields? This is how America got started. And then next, who did we exploit? The Chinese to build railroads? My ancestors? I mean, not my ancestors. Xin ancestors. I'm Vietnamese.
But that's wrong, though.
So what? There's so many things that's wrong. I'm not supposed to lie to a cop, but I lied anyway. Okay? It's wrong, yes. So what? It's life. Okay? And then who else did we exploit? After the Chinese, who was it? The Irish. Exploited the Irish. Then the Italians. That's why they exported only mafia people from Italy who brought over pizza. Never mind, I got distracted. Okay? So we all exploited. Now, who are we exploiting in this country? Hispanics. And they're very upset about it. Okay? That's life. This is America, man. We exploit. That's what we do. That's why we call American. We talk about it. In Europe, for example, they exploit people like him, but they don't say it. They don't call it exploitation. They call it fairness. They call, I pay you well. I will take care of your social security. I take care of your welfare. Well, you know, after all that, you got nothing left, but I still am taking care of you. They're exploiting these people. It's only two kinds of people in Europe: super rich and people like Jesus. They make ends meet, but they have nothing. Okay? Basically, you're slaving for rich people. Disagree. Look at his face. He said, I'm Jesus. Agree, disagree?
No, it is basically true. Right? There are very rich people, and middle class is now low class. It's the same.
Same thing. It's all the same. We all in the same group, we're exploited group, and the rich who owns everything. A big deal. That's life. Before, what do we call them? Noblemen. Nobility. Yes? Now we call them Warren Buffet. That's all. Same kinds of structure. Yes, the one in the back.
Master, I have a comment from YongHua. I think she's not here, so can I please speak about that on her behalf?
Yes.
First, it will be in Vietnamese. She said, hữu xạ tự nhiên hương, người có đức độ tự nhiên ai cũng kính mến. Mấy năm về trước, thầy hiền chỉ ở Go Forest trong giai đoạn mới kiến lập đạo tràng, sau đó được sư phụ đưa qua Đại Hàn. Thì ở đây ai cũng buồn và khóc, nhưng điều khác biệt là Phật tử ở Mỹ lại tuân thủ không dám yêu cầu hay khiếu nại gì cả. So if you have xạ, I don't know how to say the word. So those who have virtue, naturally everybody will like the person. Many years ago, Master Z at Go Forest, in the period that we first started to establishment the way place, after that, Master sent Venerable Z to Korea. So everybody here were very sad and we cry out as well. But the difference is that the Buddhist disciple in America is just follow master order, doesn't dare to request or do anything about it.
As I said, fight it out, boys and girls, Vietnamese against Koreans. Yes, 9.
Master, someone called on me to go and see them, so I request to go early.
Okay, please do. Thank you for coming. Okay, so we exploit it, we work our butts off, and quite often it goes unnoticed, and we get sick and so forth. If you work for a good boss, he would have said, pace yourself. Don't overdo it. Okay, your health is important to me. That's called caring for those below. He doesn't. Tough luck. You have to learn to take care of yourself. Meditate. And it's a learning process where you get sick, then you say there's a breaking point when you say, I stop. Because if I really care for my boss, I cannot get sick. So you learn to adapt and to stop yourself and learn how to recover quicker, to recharge quicker. Okay? Develop something called a supercharger and super duper charger and so forth. Inventions in mankind were made out of necessity. Okay? Those are life-changing inventions because it's necessary. When you're in that situation, it's much easier for you to improve. See, isn't that fascinating, this one line here, principled one truly cares for those above and below. If you do that, you're going to run to that state. Then you find that Chan is the only way for you, the only way out for you. Nothing else will work for you as well, as fast. Good discussion. Let's go to DTT. And right now, go first. Have a young lady there who's doing Sheng Yun dance.
I have a comment regarding a question from one of our assembly member.
Yes.
We still could be principal, as far as I know. Even our boss pushing you to do more in work. However, if we don't need a new car, we don't need new clothes, we don't need a sunroof on our solar roof on our roof, then we know how we are sufficient. I mean, we know we don't need more than we need to.
Mm-hmm.
We could want more, but we know how to stop when we feel that's what we need. But we keep pushing forward, then we keep worrying, and working more. So we know when is sufficient to stop. Then we could be still principled and satisfy our life. That's
Yes.
my own experience. Thank you, Master.
Yes, that's a good point. That you practice moderation, you won't be as compelled to push yourself, okay, excessively. That's true. Okay, but what he discussed here is that he was not doing it for rewards. He's not doing it. He just felt that he had to help out, deliver, and he consistently gets sick because he overdoes it. He hasn't figured out how to stop. Yes? Okay? And I share with that. I used to be like that too. Okay? And there's no way out except for Chan. That's all. You find out when you're so exhausted, okay, you cross your legs. That's why this is a time for you to invest in crossing your legs, develop that supercharger right now. When you cross your legs, it's called supercharger. Seriously, it's that simple. Okay? And there's a price to pay. When you develop it, that's when you recharge so fast. You'll be amazed. That's how you handle it. Otherwise, you will keep on getting sick. You will hurt yourself physically. And eventually, it's no longer about taking care of yourself, but eventually, you no longer are useful to your boss. That's when bad things happen. Okay? So that's all. You have to, seriously, you should talk to one of our instructors and have them help you develop this full lotus skill. I'm serious, because you need it. You'll find out. Okay? Good question. Yes, 8.
From Emily, I remember Shufu said something about your boss is like a king. Follow his orders, do what he says. He's the one paying you. As soon as I heard that, I was, oh yeah, why am I being afflicted by what he wants? Even if he doesn't make sense, he is my boss. I crossed my legs, meditated on it, went to work on the following Monday, agreed to whatever he wanted, done, and we were both happy. I also realized that I can only do what I can and leave it like that.
Yeah. What happened is another magic side, and thank you for your input. On the magical side, when you cross your legs, not only do you recharge faster, but you also can solve problems better. So actually, your performance increases naturally. You can deliver more and more and more and more. That's all. Yes, 8.
From Miguel, isn't there a quote on the 6th Patriarch Sutra, the Buddha Dharma arises from difficulty?
Yes. What does it mean? The 5th Patriarch told the 6th Patriarch, he says, do not speak Dharma too soon. The Dharma arises from difficulty. It's such a beautiful instruction from a teacher to a future teacher. He says, what it means, it's funny, no one ever asked me. Who's that comment from?
Miguel.
Do we know Miguel?
From Portugal.
Miguel. Oh, that Miguel. Hey. How do you say hello in Portuguese? Buenos dias. No, that's Spanish. What's Portuguese? Come on, help me out. Bos dias. It's night now. Buenas noches. I'm asking for Portuguese. Translate. Buenas noites. Never mind. Go back to Spain. Never mind. Okay, hey Miguel. So yes, so good point. It's amazing. No one asked me. Why did the sixth patriarch the fifth patriarch told the sixth patriarch, don't speak Dharma too soon. The Dharma arises from difficulties. What did it mean? Don't teach until they're in trouble. No one ever asked me that. I always chuckle. 2 times now I went through that passage and no one ever asked me. I keep on chuckling and say, no one noticed it. It's such a beautiful instruction. Don't teach until they are in trouble. Don't feed them until they're hungry. It's a nicer version of it. If you give your kids too much food, they get fat. Yes? So you wait until they're hungry, then you feed them. In exchange for instructions. The Dharma arises from difficulties, meaning that they're in trouble, they need help. That's when you speak Dharma. Until then, go have a drink with, excuse me, it's a slip of the tongue, okay? Go have fun. Don't be so serious. Don't grind it and grind it and grind it and grind it until there's nothing left. Relax. Wait. They eventually get in such deep trouble. That's when will you listen to me now? When they're not in trouble, don't try. Don't even try. Does it help, Miguel? Yes, absolutely. And now he wants to learn full lotus. Look at him. He says, I don't like this full lotus thing. It's not for me. Now he's motivated to learn full lotus. Am I correct, sir? Huh?
I want to learn full lotus. Yeah.
Yes, see, now he wants to learn full lotus. And that's how we all are. Yes, 8.
From Snow Wu, with more wisdom, one can choose the boss and company to work for. One can attract people alike and learn from the boss and co-workers. From Lanfang, no ask and no tell. People will not listen and will not seek for help until their old coping skills no longer work and they have to learn new ways. That's the timing for open.
When they're most receptive to the instructions, that's when they need help. And they're at the end of their wits, the end of their rope, that's when they are more receptive. Okay? GMT.
One comment, one question. 직장 다닐 때 저도 상사 때문에 비슷한 고민이 있었는데 정말 최선을 다한다면 고민하지 않고 그 직장을 그만둘 수 있게 됩니다.
Wow, 4 sentences. I am impressed.
When I go to work, I had a very similar experience. But when I do my best, then naturally I'm able to quit.
Yeah. Until you don't care. You have to learn to care. All right. Very good. Good discussion. My God, you guys are more and more interesting. You all came out from a woodwork, huh? It's so cool. Okay. So principles, you care. Yeah.
Master, one more question.
Notice I didn't even wait for the translation. He says, "Can you wait for a translation?" What she said is what she said.
상수님 질문할게요. 결과보자를 해야 되는데 골반이 아파서 결과보자를 할 수 없을 때는 무엇으로 대체해야 할까요?
Master, I know that I have to sit in full lotus, but my pelvis is so painful, so I cannot sit. Then what can I do?
What is so painful?
My hip is very painful.
Your hip is very painful.
이건 저는 아니고 그러니까 결과보자가 인스트럭션 있는 사람이 있는데 그 사람이 이제 골반이 아파서 결과보자가 안 되는 거고 이거는 저에 해당되는 질문은 아니에요.
It's not Jumi's case. It's some other's case. But he got instructed to sit in full lotus, but it's very painful for the hip, so he cannot sit. So what can he do?
It's not her. It's not Jumi.
It's not Jumi.
Is someone I need to know more. I can't give. I need specifics. Okay, who it is and how old, how much money.
구체적으로는 저희 남편이 이제 마사지 인섹션 중에 하나가 결과부자인데 왼쪽 골반이 4일 전부터 아파서 결과부자가 오늘은 안 돼서 2시간 이상 결과부자가 할 수 없는 상태입니다.
It's my husband. Master Ji instructed him to sit in full lotus, but 4 days ago his left hip got so pain, so he cannot sit more than 2 hours.
More than 2 hours. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Then sit for 2 hours and 10 minutes, and then stop. And wait until it heals. Use the oil and the lamp. It will heal a lot quicker. When it's healed, sit again 2 hours and 10 minutes until it stops hurting. Then sit a little bit longer. Is that clear? That's how you break through. You have to bear it. And then you, as a wife, can help him. Say, honey, you sit longer, I love you more. And mean it. Don't lie to him. Look, see how happy he appears now.
더 어떻게 사랑할 수가 없어요.
How come he has a problem, you want to speak for him? You see, I just rest my case. She loves you. That's why she cares.
그녀가 그를 사랑해서 그렇게 보살피는 것입니다.
No, you don't love him?
She said that she cannot love him anymore.
You mean she can love him more than right now? It sounds like you lack principles.
No, she said that she loves her. She loves him very much.
I know. Love him more. That's a principle.
그것이 의입니다.
How do you love him more? Sit more. Okay, very good. Anyone else? Okay, next. My goodness. Is this slide number 2 now? This week, every week is so bad. It's all Yumin's fault, clearly. Yielding, the honored and lowly are all in harmony and fellowship. Second characteristic of someone who cultivates, whether at home or at the temple, you yield. Okay? When you yield, then that's how harmony and fellowship are established to between the honored and the lowly. Honored yield to the lowly, and of course lowly is supposed to yield to the honored. That's typical, that direction. But the honored must learn to yield to the lowly as well. Not just take them for granted. All right? Yielding. What does it mean, yielding? Ki Young, what's yielding? He says, what? You're calling me? What's yielding to you?
Hello, Master. I think it's taking a loss.
Taking a loss. Right, precisely. You yield, you don't demand. Listen to me carefully, JC people. I see some faces there that this Dharma door applies to. Okay, I'm not going to name anyone in particular. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7. Maybe. Okay, what's yielding? 8. God, there's so many of you. What happened to Xienan? 9. Is Xienan there? No? The person who needs it most is not there. So only Xianfa is there. Yes? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, very good. Xianfa is one of my favorites. She yields. So it's not for her. The rest of you, okay, what's yielding? Let me explain to you what yielding is. Don't insist on having it your way. That's all. Stop insisting. Okay? Instead, what do? You ask, what do you want? It's such a simple thing that people in the world forget about, this thing called civility. What do you want? What can I do for you? Let's go do it together to get what you want. Whereas baby hears that, you know what I want? Baby doesn't ask, what do you want? She said, you know what I want? Would you like to know what I want? So funny. That's why you're so miserable. Because you know what I want? Do you know what I want? Do you know what I want? Do you know what I want? It's like every day, do you know what I want? Because that's misery. You cannot be happy unless you get it your way. That's a recipe for disaster, for true unhappiness, for misery. Let me tell you. Your mom, your dad, especially Asian moms, they teach your children, make sure you tell them what you want. So when you say, what do you want? Everyone's so happy to tell you, yes, I want this, I want that. That's how you are in harmony with them. Because they like you. But no, if your mom is too smart, she says, you got to be smarter than that. You got to get what you want. Sound familiar? That's why fundamentally the world is so unhappy, because everyone, especially here in America, insists on having it their way at McDonald's. Is it Burger King? I don't know anymore. It's been a while. Yes, 8.
From Emily, like yielding to a yellow traffic light before the light turns red, then other cars will come rushing through. If you run the light, you'll get into an accident if a car comes plowing through on their green light.
A mayor worked in Illinois. Police woman. Here in California, we run red lights. If you drive in California, okay, it's okay until the front of your car, crosses the intersection before it's a red light. Anyone? We all drive like that here. In Illinois, they stop as soon as there's an orange. It's, I'm supposed to stop. I'm yielding. In California, we yield to you in the red light. What else you want? See, now it's more Korean. Look at JC people. So unruly, these Americans. Only in California, ladies. Okay? We don't yield in California, only on red. How do we get here again? Okay. So, fellowship. So you live in harmony because you learn to yield. How about fellowship? Yielding brings fellowship too, I guess. Fellowship, I don't like that word because it reminds me of Christianity. They go to Bible studies to learn about fellowship. Anyway, we skip that fellowship thing, okay? Until I understand better. I have nothing to explain to you, to clarify about fellowship. Okay, I don't have much time left. This is so embarrassing. Patient. One does not proclaim the evils of the assembly. That's patience. Okay? So interestingly, okay, patience is here for us. He says, for you cultivators, is not to badmouth others. JC.
네, 양보와 관련해서 질문 드립니다. 어제 제 생일이었는데 남편이 요리도 해주고 케이크를 일주일 전에 예약을 해서 준비를 해주셨더라고요. 그래서 요즘에 들어서 남편이 저를 더 사랑하는 거를 많이 느끼는데 동시에 제가 절에 열심히 다니고 집착하는 모습에 또 힘들어하는 것도 서로 솔직히 얘기를 하다 보니까 동시에 느껴서 감사함과 미안함이 같이 떠올랐는데
오.
제가 제 형편에 비해 너무 지나치게
우와.
마스터의 가르침에 집착하는 것인지 이대로 계속 열심히 해도 되는 것인지 좀 혼란스러웠습니다.
Master, I want to ask you about the yielding. Yesterday was my birthday, so my husband cooked for me and prepared a cake. He ordered a cake from a week ago. And then recently I felt that he loved me very much. And at the same time, he said that since I go to the temple very often, it makes him very hard. So I felt gratitude and I felt sorry at the same time. So I wonder I'm wondering whether I am attached to your teaching so much, or if it's okay to continuously practice like this.
Oh, that's a hard one to make you choose between your master and your husband. And you're asking your master for advice? What am I supposed to tell you?
네, 죄송합니다, 마스터.
Sorry for my stupidity.
I told you war twice already, and you didn't stop. She ignored it. War. I mean, you know what? When you ride a horse, you say, war. That's what we do in America. When we ride a horse, and a horse is going too fast, say, war. Okay? All right, never mind. It's an American thing. But how you feel? By the way, happy birthday. How old are you? Also very American.
한국 나이로 42입니다.
42 in Korean age.
That's 41 years plus 1 day. Wow, congratulations. Yeah. Are you happier together with your husband? Is he happier with you? She has to think.
예전보다는 행복한 것 같습니다.
I think I'm happier than before.
You're happier than before. Did he say so? Did he say, I notice you're happier?
아니요.
아니요? Oh. Okay, and that's what you have to learn. The French Wei-Yang style. You know what it means, French? You lie to your spouse. It's perfectly okay. That's why we don't call it American. We blame it on the French. The French will say, oh, I love you, you're so beautiful. But, lying to their teeth. Okay? Same thing, you go home, you say, honey, I love you. I don't know, I just went to the temple, I came back, and all of a sudden, I miss you so much, I had to go back and come back and see you. And you give him a big hug. Do you do that?
마스터, 그러면 저는 집에 가면 거짓말을 연습해야 되고 절에 오면 거짓말하지 않는 걸 연습해야 되는 거죠?
Then, Master, I have to practice lying at home, and I have to practice straight mind at the temple. Is it right?
At the temple, honey, you don't lie. At home, feel free. In your case, I give you permission to lie to your husband. Yes, 3.
Thank you, Master. I'm kind of same situation with her. So I'm trying to like the French style to my husband before, but if I do that, he's expecting more and more. That's why I can't come to temple. So I stop to do this. So I also have a question about that. So I'm trying to nice to him or trying to nice word. My husband.
And don't you dare stay there, stay. Is that what you do? That's American. French are not.
So I also confusing. Yeah, he expecting more and more to me. So
when you come to the temple, do we eat only one food? Yesterday is Mexican, the day before is Korean. Today, I don't know, whatever it is. It's undetermined, okay? We want variety. Got that? You give them candies every now and then, only every now and then. Understand? That's why sometimes you become French, and sometimes you become American, sometimes you're Korean, sometimes you're Japanese. Hi. Huh? Yes, Sister 5.
Oh, these young wives.
I know.
Please make your husband happy. If you spend more time and you get more from your cultivation, and Master helps you so much, find it in your heart to give something extra to your husband, and your husband will be happy. Maybe you go and pick him up something from the bakery, or you make him his favorite food, or you write him a little I love you note, or something cute like that. And they really appreciate it. Because then they don't mind if you're at the temple a little bit longer.
Nah.
You see?
That's a boy's experience. She manipulated her husband to letting her go to the temple as often as she wants. That's her experience.
And he's very happy. So if he's happy, then he wants his wife to be happy. So
excellent. Yeah.
You can find it.
It worked for her.
You can find it in your heart.
How about this? Let me do the Korean way. That's Filipino ways. That's American. Filipino American. Let me suggest one thing for you, if I may. Notice, it's your birthday. What did he do? He cooked for you. And then what else did he do? It's so feminine thing. It's disgusting. So feminine, so girly. You cook for him, and then you say, honey, I'd love if you do me this favor. That's what my ex-wife used to do for me. When she started being the soft and gentle, oh, what is she up to now? And my guard's always up. You know, those moments when you know that you're going to be in trouble. A new washer dryer, a new car, or something. And you have to ruin it, I was telling myself. I was so happy, now you have to ruin it. And it always starts, you know, honey. I say, yeah. Every single time. I felt so exploited. Okay, never mind. Okay. So you notice, your husband is becoming more feminine with you. He cooked for you, huh? And then he sweetly says, you know, honey, I love it more. I love you more. If you don't go to the temple, you go to the temple less. And he said, okay. I say, yes, honey, I will try to accommodate you. And then what do you do next? Tomorrow you come home, you cook for him. And he cook really all the food he wants. And after he eats it, give him some soju. Get him a little bit tipsy. Okay? Then you say, you know, honey, I'd love you more if you allow me to go to the temple. You got that? Okay. That's Vietnamese. Way young. We negotiate. I do this for you, you do that for me. Yes. You got that? You do it humorously. Do not criticize him. You understand?
네, 마스터 최선을 다해 보겠습니다.
Yeah, you use exactly the same thing on him, but you get him drunk. When he's weaker, okay? When his mind is a little bit confused, that's when you say, you know, honey, I love you so much. I think it's because of my going to the temple. The more I go to the temple, the more I find my love for you grows. Here, drink some more. Could I go to the temple tomorrow? You do it humorously. You understand? Don't fight. Okay? You do exactly the same thing he does to you. But now when you do it, talk like a man. Hey, honey. You know, I really love you. But can you have some more? Drink some more. Okay? So I would use humor. That's all. To convey to him what's important to you. That's all. And he'll pick it up. Yes, JC.
네,
Oh, good Lord. How do we get into this drinking here and entrapment?
한 가지,
Yes, go ahead.
한 가지 질문이랑 비슷한 그 케이스가 있어서 말씀드리고 싶은데, 제가 미국에 2주 다녀온 뒤에 남편이 굉장히 또 이제 힘들어 했었고, 그래서 남편을 번뇌롭지 않게 하는 것에 중점을 두고, 그렇게 이제 낮에 남편이 깨어 있을 때는 최대한 집에 있고, 남편이 의식이 없을 때 남편이 잠을 잘 때 이제 전에 오는 방식을 택해서 지내고 있는데 남편이 훨씬 행복해하고 아무튼 모든 게 되게 좋아졌습니다. 그래서 이제 토요일 같은 경우에 어제 마스터지께서 보문품을 여기서 하시는데 너무 오고 싶은 거예요. 그런데 그렇게 이제 이야기를 꺼내 보았더니 남편의 번뇌가 확 올라오는 것을 봐서 이제 안 가겠다 하고 남편과 가족들과 고기만 있는 음식점에서 밥을 먹고, 그러니까 전 이제 거의 못 먹고, 아무튼 이런 식으로 시간을 보내고, 또 오후에는 아이의 이제 친구들의 엄마들, 그러니까 엄마 모임에 가서 온갖 뭐 학원 얘기, 뭐 성장 주사 얘기, 뭐 이런 이야기를 한참 밤 11시까지 들었습니다. 그래서 절에 가서 보문품을 하고 만트라를 하고 이렇게 하는 게 저한테는 훨씬 더 편안하다고 해야 될까요? 아무튼 더 쉬운 일처럼 느껴지는 거예요. 그래서 이 토요일에 어떤 일련의 모든 내가 원하는 것을 추구하지 않고 계속 다른 사람들이 원하는 것을 같이 하면서 시간을 보내는 게 일종의 수행이라고 말할 수 있는지 궁금합니다. 감사합니다. 너무 길어서 죄송합니다.
Master, I have a very similar situation. After I came back from America for 2 weeks, I saw my husband had a very hard time. So I tried not to get afflicted him. So when he's awake, I'm at home. When he's asleep, I went to temple. And then my husband happier than before. And last Saturday, there was a Pumonping ceremony by Master Ji. I really wished to come to temple. But when I told my husband, I saw my husband got afflicted. So I went to the meat restaurant with my family and having spent time with my family. And in the afternoon, I have a meeting with my child's friends, mother's meeting. So we talk about our child care, our private tutor, and then I spent time until 11 o'clock. So I'm wondering, every Saturday I have to spend time with things that I don't want to do for other people. Is it kind of a cultivation?
Yeah. You have to endure it. You have to be patient. Okay? Vicky here had to go through years before her husband realized that her coming to the temple is beneficial to him. It finally dawned upon him that he gets great benefits from it. It took a while, didn't it? At first, Michael, her husband, also objected strongly to it. Okay, and it took a lot of persuasion for him to change his mind. 5.
Master, what's interesting is if when Chun was at our house, she asked him. Remember, Chun, you said that. You asked him, has he noticed a difference in me since I've been cultivating or coming to the temple? And he was just so blatant, like, no, I don't see any difference.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I think it's just the way he is. He's not going to say yes, but to himself, I think he sees it.
Yes. They notice it very quickly, but they don't necessarily have to tell you unless it's beneficial to them. That's how they are. I mean, there's nothing bad about it. It's how we all function, okay? Okay. Now, for the time, we're running out of time. This is a very important topic. I think Ru Shu should ask for more input from the people there, okay? And you learn from it. One thing though, one observation though, is Ru Shu, you feel different? You feel different.
예전에는 남편이 반대하고
You calmer. You feel calmer?
네, 남편이 번뇌가 크게 느껴지지가 않습니다.
Yes, my father, I didn't get affected as much as I did before from my husband's affliction.
That's right. Okay? And trust me, eventually he'll notice it and he'll appreciate it more. Because when you're with him, you're afflicted, he gets afflicted in return. When you're not as afflicted, you're calmer, it calms him down as well, reduces his afflictions. Okay? It's because you improved. Improvement manifests itself as fewer afflictions, you're calmer. Affliction is what drains you, saps your energy. If you improve, you don't have as much outflow, fewer afflictions, that's why you have more energy to live. Okay? So congratulations. Can't you tell that she's calmer now? People, JC? Yes or no? Well, eventually you see it. Anyway, thank you all for your input. We will have to stop here today. Thank you all.